Hi folks, Rick Goetze here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Nice to see you here today. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to have a new reading with Ricky, and it's going to be from my third collection of Little Ricky the Young Man from Otter Lake. Little Ricky the Young Man from Otter Lake, this new collection that's coming out. I currently have 4 of the stories completed, and this is the 4th story. It will be published in the summer of 2025. It's coming very, very soon. It's not quite available for sale. I just got some tweaks yet to do on it, but it'll be out very, very soon. It's my first attempt at a true love story. It's a love story like you've never heard before. It's a love story that has never been told this way before. So it's a very unique perspective on the aspects of falling in love. So it's again from my third collection, Little Ricky, the Young Man from Otter Lake. Today's story, though, is going to be a thriller coming out for love. A thriller coming out for love. This is a mock-up of what the book will look like. Again, it's not quite published, but it's coming along. So I'll be having this book out very, very soon. I'm thinking by the summer, late summer, August 2025, it'll be available for sale. It'll be available in kobo.com as an audiobook, in amazon.ca as a paperback that looks similar to this, but the finalized copy, and of course as an ebook. So all 3 versions will be available this summer. Coming very soon, my very first attempt at a true love story. I think it turned out really well. Test reading has told me that it's a very touching, very emotional, thrilling story. So hopefully you will enjoy a thriller coming out for love. But before we get into today's reading of that new story from my third collection, Little Ricky, the Young Man from Otter Lake, I want to talk about myself just a little bit. I want to tell you about my journey. My journey as an author, basically I started writing in the year 2020 when the pandemic hit. I had retired and I originally wanted to work in old age homes, volunteering with the poor, with the elderly, helping them, reading to them, what have you. But unfortunately, COVID changed all of that. It's still my dream. I still want to do that, but I need to get over my own health issues first before I can actually go and volunteer in the old age homes. But that will come. I really love seniors and I want to work with the seniors, and that's what I plan on doing. But in the meantime, I'm enjoying the journey as an author. I'm a Canadian author and I write short stories, heartwarming, touching short stories that are Canadiana. They're Canadiana. They're works of fiction. They're historical fiction because I take people back in time to a point where things were not as complicated. They were complicated, but they're not as complicated, where people actually cared about each other and it wasn't so, everything was on social media and everybody wasn't for themselves. Everybody was actually out there to help others and support each other. But anyway, so my stories all started coming together in the year 2020 when I put together a few stories and I was posting them up on social media, and friends and family were saying, hey, these stories are pretty good. You should publish a book. So you know what? I did. I put them all together into my first collection called Little Ricky the Boy from Otter Lake. In Little Ricky the Boy from Otter Lake, there are 12 amazing little short stories about a 5-year-old boy. He's age 0 when he's born, then up to age 5. 12 stories of him growing up, small town, family, friends, everybody around, fellow children around him in town. And he's learning about love, lessons, forgiveness, support, all of that kind of stuff, that little childhood lessons that we all need to know to build our lives to be better, more productive world citizens and in support of each other. So again, Little Ricky, the Boy from Otter Lake, my first collection that was out there, was very successful. Because it was so successful, this year I decided to put together continuations of those original 12 stories. So I've come out with Little Ricky, the Boy from Otter Lake, the sequels. So each of those original 12 stories now have a separate additional story, the sequel to those stories. It's also available on kobo.com and amazon.ca. You can find this whole collection, 12 new stories, 12 brand new stories. They are sequels to the original stories from Little Ricky, the Boy from Otter Lake. Again, audiobooks available on kobo.com, and this paperback paperback and ebook version can be had on amazon.ca. After a year and a half or so, and pretty good success with my first book, Little Ricky, the Boy from Otter Lake, I decided let's try it again. And I aged my protagonist, Little Ricky, who is my main character in all of my stories. And he is now a 14-year-old boy. And he now is a high school lad at 14 years old. So he's a 14-year-old lad, and he's going through all the ups and downs of teenage life. And when we're teenagers, we learn an awful lot about who we are, where we're going, and where we want to be. And this fella, and most of us are very fortunate during our teen years to be supported by many teachers, because he's in school, teachers, and people around him that help him grow to be a fine young man. You know, they teach him the life lessons that he needs, and he supports his friends who are going through some very difficult times. Ricky just discovers how to help others, and he can really, really uplift them to be all in a better place. So Little Ricky, the Lad from Otter Lake Adolescent Adventures. Now, when I put this collection together, it was so big that I couldn't publish it in one book. So Amazon made me break it into two parts. Well, they didn't make me. I had no choice but to break it into two parts. So it's sold in two parts. Part one has the first 6 stories, stories 1 through 6, and part 2 then, of course, has the next 6 stories, stories 7 through 12. Again, it's a collection of 12 stories. They are available on kobo.com as audiobooks and on amazon.ca as paperback and as ebooks. Then as I started off my little video today, I'm now writing my 3rd series of short stories, and they're called Little Ricky, the Young Man from Otter Lake. I have 4 stories written. Today's story, the 4th story that I have written, will be the focus of the Reading with Ricky today. But there are 3 others, and they are fully published and available on kobo.com and on amazon.ca. So my ultimate goal within the next year or maybe 2, I've had some health issues, had an operation done. So I had to slow down my writing journey a little bit, but my full intention is to complete all 12 stories sometime next year or the year after that to have a full collection available. Because it'll be so large, I'll probably have to break it into 2 or 3 parts as well, but they can be purchased individually. Anyway, so today's story is going to be a thriller, Coming Out for Love, my first attempt at a true love story. I know that people feel a lot of emotion when they're reading this. I've been told that by my test readers that, yes, it's a delightful story. It'll touch people, touch them right in their heart because it's a true love story. And so today's reading will be from this book. So if you hang in there, I'll be right back. Just need to pick up another thing, and I'll be right back with a reading from Ricky for today, which is called A Thriller, Coming Out for Love. I'll be right back. Hi, thanks for coming back. So first thing I'd like to do for this story, the Reading with Ricky story today, I want to read you the teaser, the introductory paragraph. That is the poster story for the book. So basically, here we go. Little Ricky, the Young Man from Otter Lake, a thriller, coming out for love. In the unforgettable winter of 1987, Ricky returns home to Otter Lake, where the warmth of his family traditions and memories surround him. But back in Otto, his world is changing fast. And love ignites with a charming and thoughtful mate. Friendship deepens, and a dream career opportunity is within reach. For the first time, Ricky dares to believe that happiness is truly his for the taking. But just as life seems to be falling into place, a devastating loss sends him spiraling, and an unexpected confession from his new love interest threatens to shatter everything he's built. As love, grief, and self-discovery collide, Ricky faces a choice. Will he allow fear to define his future, or will he fight for the love and the life that he deserves? A gripping story of resilience, courage, and the power of love. Little Ricky, the Young Man from Otter Lake, a thriller, Coming Out for Love, is an unforgettable journey of self-acceptance and hope. Will Ricky embrace his truth and claim his happiness, or will the weight of his past still hold him back? Hang on there. We'll soon find out. We'll certainly give you the beginning of this story today, coming up right now in Reading with Ricky. Be right back. Hi, so thanks for coming back. So just before we get into the Reading with Ricky, here is the cover, the inside artwork for this story, and there's one more. I just want to flip the page here and show it to you. This is the Reading for Ricky. It's a thriller coming out for love story. This is the artwork, shows some scenes of Ottawa, some family times back up in Ottawa, Quebec, friends, family. There's a great friend in here called Karen. She's right in the center. You'll get to know more about Karen if you pick this story up and read it. It's quite a touching story. So, reading with Ricky, here we go. All right, let's have a look at Little Ricky, a thriller coming out for love.
Ricky clutched his small, weathered suitcase tightly as the Voyageur bus rolled to a stop in Campbell's Bay. It was early evening on Saturday, January 3rd, 1987. The winter sky glowed faintly, the soft reflection of streetlights bouncing off pristine snowbanks. The frigid air seeped in through the bus doors as they opened with a hiss, but Ricky hardly noticed. His heart lifted when he spotted his older brothers, Bernie and Chris, standing near Bernie's blue Chevy truck. Bundled in thick coats and knitted toques, they waved enthusiastically, their cheeks red from the cold. As Ricky descended the bus steps, Bernie's booming voice greeted him. "Hey there, little brother. It is about time you made it." Ricky laughed as he approached. "Hey, Bernie, what do you mean, about time? You know I have no control over how fast the bus driver maneuvers this big old bus." Bernie snickered. "Well, you could have pinched him to make him go faster." Chris, who had been quiet until now, embraced Ricky in a firm hug. "How was the ride?" "Quiet," Ricky replied, his breath visible in the frosty air. He turned to Bernie with a grin. "And Bernie, what are we going to do with you?" "We'll figure that out later," Bernie quipped. "For now, let's get you home. Mom's been fussing all day, baking and cooking for Little Christmas." The three climbed into the truck where the heater was running full blast. The cabin was filled with the scent of winter air mingling with the faint aroma of pine from a forgotten air freshener dangling from the windshield mirror. As Bernie steered onto the winding road to Otter Lake, the headlights revealed snow-laden evergreens and occasional flurries drifting lazily from the dark sky. The journey was quiet, the only sounds the hum of the engine and the crunch of snow under the truck's tires. "She's even baked those magic squares you love," Bernie said, breaking the silence. Ricky smiled. "I've missed her cooking. And her baking." Chris leaned back in his seat. "Mom's been worried about you, said it wasn't right for you to be alone on Christmas, especially this year." Ricky's voice softened. "It wasn't so bad. I thought a lot about Dad and all of you. It felt like Dad was still with me in a way."
And that is the beginning of Little Ricky, a thriller coming out for love. Hopefully you'll find this book coming very soon this summer on Amazon.ca in paperback and in ebook, or on Kobo.com in audiobook format. And it will be available very, very soon. Touching love story. The biggest, you can see it's a pretty thick book, the biggest, longest, most beautiful love story I've ever written. So it's coming soon. Hopefully you'll enjoy the story. And if you do, that would be great. I'd love to hear from you here on my YouTube channel. You can give me a comment. I love to hear your comments. They really do give me joy. Give me a thumbs up. Thumbs ups are really great because that way I know that you care. And if you want to be notified, click that little bell down below, because then you'll always get a notification. And subscribe to my channel, and you won't miss another new video. Anyway, I wish you well. Today's Rating with Ricky is dedicated to you. Thanks so much for checking in. Take care. Bye-bye. Rick Goetze here, Canadian author, Little Ricky Short Stories. Bye.